If you think about it, the minibus taxi industry is the only industry that is owned and managed by black people in South Africa. Gone are those days when we used to own your supermarket, your tuck shops. That is no more. And my fear now is that in the absence of a compelling vision to restructure and to reposition the taxi industry, this industry might actually meet the same fate as the township and village grocery market, and it will be very unfortunate. Now the question becomes, what is it that must be done to rescue the situation? Here is my suggested master plan, Vision 2050, from black chip to blue chip, how to reposition the minibus taxi industry into a trillion rand industry by 2025. The minibus bus taxi industry as a catalyst for rural and township economic development. Before we come to the solution, let's look at the underlying statistics. Currently, as I speak, there are 255,000 minibus taxis across the length and breadth of the country, across the rural, urban, and township divide. These minibus taxis are servicing in excess of 70% of the South African households. By the way, these minibus taxis have a 75% market share of daily commuters in South Africa. Did you know that the number of commuters on South African roads numbers up to anywhere between 15 to 23 million on a daily basis? But how rich is the minibus taxi industry? The industry is estimated anywhere between 90 and 150 billion. I believe it is grossly understated. Otherwise, that's a discussion for another day. 44 billion of this money is spent on fuel to keep the minibus taxis on the road. Now, let's look at the key challenges facing the industry. The poor customer service in the industry is legendary. They operate informally, meaning they are part of the informal sector. They are facing a declining market share and profitability. Riding in a taxi is not considered a safe thing to do. They've got a very bad image and reputation. Because of the shrinking pie, the industry is conflict ridden and has always been. Operating a minibus taxi comes with a very high cost structure. The other challenge is the inadequate revenue model, which is wholly dependent on the passenger seat, the passenger fare that is paid by the customer. There is wholesale resistance to change. The business model is ineffective simply because the taxi driver has to first pay the minibus taxi owner before they can make their own amount. On a daily basis, there's a target that they have to achieve. The other problem with this business model is that this on its own supercharges the bad driver behavior of the taxi driver on the road. It makes them very aggressive. Another characteristic is that the minibus operators are not involved in the value chain. In other words, the industry is working to enrich others. They are recipient of goods and services. I was very encouraged recently to hear that in Soshanguve they've resolved to participate in the value chains, and they've started with a fuel depot, which is good. Now, when I say the industry is working for others, this is what I mean. If they make 100 rands, 90 rands goes back to suppliers. That is to pay for high financing costs for the vehicle, fuel, spares and parts, and whatnot. The situation clearly indicates that there is that syndrome of South African black communities where money comes in the evening and leaves the very next day in the morning, back to suburbs and big cities. Now, what are the key trends? You've got your Uber, your Bolt. The taxi industry has responded with Shasha. Their hand was forced. And these e-hailing services are projected to grow by 17% in 2025. That is not a small thing. There's also change in vehicle ownership. You can subscribe to own a vehicle, a car, and that is part of the on-demand economy. Elon Musk has come up with a robot taxi, which is self-driving, and he claims that is going to be the Uber and Airbnb of transportation. There are disruptive technologies. There's an app called You Go My Way in Cape Town. It's a platform that connects motorists and those who are looking to hitch a ride. There are autonomous vehicles. In China, for instance, there's a minibus taxi service that is autonomous, and it is a hit with commuters because of its affordability. Once again, Elon Musk has invented the Loop, which is essentially an underground mobility system for mega cities. What is it that the taxi industry can do to survive? Let's look at the revenue model. There's an opportunity for digital advertising. The taxi themselves can be used as a mobile signboard or on a much bigger scale. Courier services, insourcing of vehicle finance, backward integration. Here I mean they can partner with a vehicle manufacturer to where they can own a stake in that manufacturing vehicle to manufacture a minibus taxi. And what stops this industry from investing or from trading on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange? Making sure that they go through the necessary processes and then raise capital on and trade shares there. They have the opportunity to insource fuel, keep the 44 billion rands in the industry. What can they do as far as technology and equipment is concerned? There's an urgent need to digitize. Make sure that I can swipe my card and get into a taxi and use card payment systems where appropriate. The vehicle. There's an opportunity for the industry to partner with a manufacturer, design and manufacture a vehicle that is environmentally friendly and complies with other transport regulations. And also align with the new revenue model. Revenue model, yes. And people, what can happen? There's an opportunity to professionalize the people aspect of the taxi industry. This will involve your skills audit, reskilling through training and development, attracting professional people for skills that are not within the industry. Look at the PSL where they are today. Permanent contract for drivers. Imagine if they can do that, you'll feel it on the road the next day. When the driver knows that I've got a salary, I've got benefits, the taxi driver will now begin to be rational when they drive. Financing, insourcing of vehicle finance. They can raise their money through stock files. There are many, and they can also list on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange to raise money for that. What are the benefits of this program? This can catalyze the development of rural and township economies, job creation, community empowerment through shares, skills development, township and village-based manufacturing hubs, improved safety, contribution to GDP growth. And it is my contention that by doing this, they can turn the industry into a 1 trillion rands industry by 2050. But in order to achieve this, there's a price to pay. There must be unity. They must embrace partnership. They must brace themselves for radical change and restructuring. They must dismantle hit squads. They must radically improve the image of the industry as a whole. I hope you enjoyed this suggestion. Please talk to me on the comment section. Cheers.